After daily tea, it's our time to learn how to teach in Physics 300. Mr. Mike Cromie and his trusty sidekick, Hal Haggard.
Okay guys, welcome to Physics 300. I'm Hal Haggard, and I'll be teaching you guys how to be good teachers. Don't mind the beads, they were an award by one of my students.
Okay, look at the time. I gotta go. Nice work, guys.
That was Mike Cromie. Okay guys, so today we'll begin by going over the in-class evaluations we did last week, and then we'll do another in-class evaluation. But first, let's look at the results from the in-class evaluation. At the end of section today, we will spend an hour and a half lesson planning for your upcoming section. So, the survey results from the in-class evaluation last week. Question 1, 87% of you think that lesson planning is the best part of class. Okay, question 2, 87% of you spend lesson planning as time for goofing off and catching up with your friends. Great, that's great. Now I'd like to go over the 7 deadly sins of teaching. Any questions? Okay. So the 7 deadly sins are, first of all, never ever don't come to class not prepared. You see this paper here? When I come to class, I like to draw a line down the middle of my paper. This is the side of the board that I will be writing on. These are the notes for the other side of the board that I will be writing on. Draw the line down the side of your paper. Lesson number 2, be mindful of your atmosphere. This reminds me of the time I was an undergraduate at Reed College, and I had David J. Griffiths. David J. Griffiths, author of the Quantum Mechanics 137A book. Yes, he used to write on the board and run into a chair, only to move the chair a few seconds, feet away, continue writing, and run into it yet again. Be mindful of your atmosphere. Tip number 3, and this was suggested to me by a graduate student by the name of Steve Anton: always erase your board completely. You don't want primes and H-bars to be where they're not supposed to be. Lesson number 4, write out words when you're giving notes, not just symbols. This reminds me of the time I was an undergraduate at Reed College. I had David J. Griffiths as a professor. He's the author of the 137. And he was an amazing professor, but he only wrote equations, and by the end of the semester I couldn't understand what this was. Lesson number 5, minimize shakeage during erasing. You don't want that booty to shake. Students will not learn if they're distracted. They've come to learn physics, not to see you in action. Lesson number 6, XYZ. Does anybody know what XYZ means? Yes, examine your zipper. Although you might not be afraid of heights, your fly might be, so be sure that. Lesson number 7, and this is the most important one. Whatever you do, do not write across the divide on the board. Just remember the old adage, write across the crack, break your mama's back. That's Physics 300. Next week, we'll do another evaluation.